look at your bills to pay, it shakes you up right from the start. Oh, but it's a sunny day and good things are gonna come your way if you just play it straight on from your heart. Oh, but there's just nowhere to go, 'cause somebody told you so. But those lies are going around. Yeah, you know, you got a choice, you see. It's not your destiny, no. Nobody's holding you down. When you play from your heart. Yeah, come on with you. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Play it from your heart. Wherever you are tonight, if you're feeling lonesome, you just reach on out. Put that love into your writing. We can change the world. Yes, if you take a stand, you'll find a promised land. It's been there right from the start. Oh, all those things you want to be, yeah. Tell me what you see. You know what? It is not that hard. 'Cause you know what to do. Comes right from inside of you, and it should never tear you apart. No, no, no. Just play it fair and square. You're gonna get your share. Your time ain't really that far. When you play from your heart. Yeah. Oh, when you play it from your heart. Vote love, vote loud and proud. Give it up every day. No, don't let nobody turn you around. Just one foot in front of the other. That be proud, y'all. Keep on shouting out, yay, love, love, love one another. Helping out our brothers and sisters. We know a change is gonna come, baby, but we gotta help move it along. Yeah, don't let nobody stop you now. Nobody turn you around. Play it straight from your heart. Yeah, 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 yeah. You got to. Oh, did y'all look at those stars shining up above? Oh, come on and look out to your heart and show everybody you love them. Yes, and you are voice for humanity. You do it. You're playing it straight from your heart. You come on each and every week, baby. All the things we see coming right from your heart. We got love to share, things to do, yes. It's up to me, it's up to you, yeah. So come on, say hi to one another and let us know you're here. From Brooklyn to Nashville, Seattle, and right clear. You're in for a big treat tonight, y'all, 'cause Caroline Aiken is here. Oh, yeah, Amy Ray, I know Caroline from years back. Playing straight in Columbia, South Carolina. My goodness, I'm from South Carolina. From your heart. Yeah, yeah, straight from your heart. Oh, yeah. So people from all over. There's somebody from Tennessee. Woo, it's good to see everybody. We're getting all in there. Oh, man, it's just great to be here with y'all. I know we got a bunch going on. Caroline and I got my first review in an American Songwriter magazine, and our names were side by side. So I thought, oh, who is this girl? So I checked her out. She's from Georgia, and I'm from South Carolina, living in Tennessee, and now I'm in Texas. And you know what? It's all about the same, except the beach is prettier in California. But anyway.
Well, from California, I'll jump in here. And you guys, that's Leanne Atherton. She's our Minister of Music on a weekly basis, and she has brought such. She has really helped us define what we're about and bring it to life in a way that Kari and I had envisioned it and Leanne came along and helped us like bring it to life and keeps coming back and helping us week after week. So thank you so much for all you've done all year with us, Leanne, and we're looking forward to what the future holds as we continue to build this incredible coast to coast community of where we're nurturing volunteerism. And so we'll catch up with Leanne in just a few minutes. And my name is Scott Bramer. I am, let's see here if we can, there I am. I think that's me. So you guys, we have an incredible night for you. Envoys for Humanity, basically think of us as kind of the volunteer funnel. We want to be we want to help people get into that funnel by making the first part of it easy, so we can you know, get more volunteers involved through that into the funnel pipe. And what is that funnel, what does that look like? It looks like fun, joyful, attractive things, community, support, art, and that's what we've been providing in these Zocalo Zooms all year long. And so as the stars line up here at the end of the year with the great convergence of Saturn and Jupiter and the solstice, and it occurred to me today, we have everybody who is on our bill tonight. Amy, Ray, your name starts with an A, and then we have Alex, who is on live painting, starting with an A, and then we have, of course, Leanne Atherton, whose last name starts with an A, and we have Caroline Aiken, whose last name starts with an A, and both of those women, Caroline and Leanne, are both in cities that start with an A, being Athens and Atlanta. So as our good friend Mary Gaucher said to us during the sound check, that is the A team. So with that, I turn it over to another member of the A team, my co-founder, Kari Ramirez. No A in that name. Well, she's got an A in there, but it doesn't start with it. And she is
that was a great bridge. That was nice. Hi everyone, my name is Kari Ramirez, and I'm the co-founder of Envoys for Humanity, and it's another Tuesday night. So excited to be here. Thank you, Leanne. Just the way you weave your words into what's happening in real time is magical. So I love it. So I'm going to talk real quick just a little bit about postcarding business. That's one of the reasons that we are here, is to write postcards. We are currently reaching out to young Black voters in Georgia in rural areas that may not have all of the information coming to them constantly like they might get in the bigger cities, in the urban areas. So we are specifically reaching out to that data point, that set of individuals, and making sure that they get out the vote. So we're sending them information, giving them website, giving the early voting dates, giving the phone number, and just encouraging them to get out there and vote, because we all know how important these two Senate races are. And there's also, which is a little well known, there is another person on the ballot, Daniel Blackman. We added him to our postcards. He's a very amazing, dynamic candidate that's running for public service commissioner. So that's another one that's on the ballot. He's a Democrat. So we're telling everybody, urging everybody to vote for all three, all straight down the ticket. And so we're going to make a difference, and we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that happens. So postcarding, if you're a veteran writer and you've written with us before, you know the drill, and you can start writing at any time. If you need more addresses, everything, thank you, Brandy, is in the chat. And we'll put that all throughout the evening. So at any time that you need them, then you can get addresses. If you're new, then fill out the form and we will get you addresses. Everything will be sent via email. And there also is a quick slide presentation for anybody that would want to just click on that link, and it would give you kind of ideas on what to write and how to write, but all that is also included in the email. So I wanted to put out numbers really quick because it's just fun before we get on to the really fun part. So we started writing to Georgia on November 10th. So a little over, a month and 10 days. And so far, as of a couple of hours ago, so now the number is bigger, is we're at 114,602 postcards. So almost 115,000 postcards written in a little over a month, which is crazy. And the whole general election, since we started this in June, because we did write to Texas, voters in Texas, North Carolina, Florida, and Michigan, we have written a total of 189,345 postcards. And just because we're so close to the 200,000, we really want to hit that mark. So we have just around 11,000 left, not even quite that, which is very possible to do within the week. And so if you can write postcards, get those out and reach voters. We are excited to, yes, please make sure you, thank you, Randy, make sure you check your junk box if you have put in a request, and just make sure it didn't go to spam. We have changed our email address. So make sure you check in your spam box. And we're also excited to announce that we went automated. So we have a system that we have built internally by one of our envoys, Scott Wolf, which he is a student at Stanford, and he created magic. And so it's automated. So if you're a verified writer and you've written with us before, you can literally get addresses within minutes because auto takes over and does everything. So it's incredible. So a lot of changes, a lot of exciting things coming around the bend. So let's get to that 20,000. Let's celebrate on Tuesday that we've written over 200,000 postcards all across the country. So let's do it, and we can do it together. So on that note, we have an incredible artist tonight. I'm very excited about Alex Beard. I have seen his work one other time, and when Scott told me that he was going to be joining us here, I was just over the moon. So Alex, thank you so much for being here. Alex is I love this term, abstract naturalism style. And your work is just really incredible. I'm going to put all your information in the chat, but you have just a breadth of talent. You've published, you've produced videos, you do art. You have a foundation called the Watering Hole Foundation that helps endangered wildlife. So you are just a well-rounded person. So hello and welcome officially to our Zocalo Zoom. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great, thank you. It's always a delight to be with you all. Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
It's nice of you to give me such a lauded introduction. I'm really just a doodler and an enthusiast. So tonight I'll be doing that while you all write your postcards. The last time I did this, I did a round canvas, and the idea was, in that case, it was trying to get people to register to vote in Texas against Trump. And so the idea was what goes around comes around, and I think we're all seeing that that is in fact coming to pass. I'd like to point out, by the way, that this is so hugely important in the history of the world. I've been thinking about this for the last month or so. In the history of the world, I can't think of a single other example where an autocrat has to leave at the height of their power because the will of the people says no thank you.
Well said.
It's really an extraordinarily proud moment to be an American, despite, you know, what we read about every day. So good for all of us. Yeah. Tonight, I cheated a little bit, and I started with a gesture in advance so that it could be dry. And I'm very interested, you mentioned abstract naturalism. So I'm interested in the intrinsic way in nature that things move. And what I mean by that is, why is the spiral in the seashell the same shape as the arms of the entire galaxy, the winds of a hurricane, and the divine proportion, right? It gives you some sort of indication of the interconnectedness of all things. And so starting with a truism like this, in the case of a spiral, I think that great things, hopefully in this case, come from simple measures and simple strokes. And so I thought that was kind of a nice metaphor for what we're doing tonight. Real accomplishment starting from just a very simple gesture that's in tune with the truism of the way that things in nature naturally want to be. So if that's not heady enough for you, come back to me in an hour and I'll think of something else.
I love it. That actually gave me chills. So that, yeah, that you can just feel that the way everything is interconnected. That's very awesome. Well, we will be spotlighting your work all throughout the night, and we're gonna check in with you and kind of get your take on what you're feeling as the night continues, and we have music and inspirational speakers and stuff like that. So Alex,
yes, I'm going to let you guys do your thing, and
yes.
I'm going to turn my back to you and start working on the painting. And if you want me to say something, just say my name and I'll unmute myself and I'll start yammering.
I love it. Perfect. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Alex. We really appreciate you being here.
Pleasure.
All right, we're going to continue the magic now, and we're going to have Leanne come back on and give us a couple of more songs. Leanne, I love you. Take it away.
I love y'all too. It's a Christmas song I wrote. It was inspired really by an acquaintance of mine who had become homeless, and he was standing on the corner begging for money, and it was Christmas time. So I saw my brother standing on a corner, begging another to help him today. Yeah. People passing by couldn't look him in the eye, so scared and afraid, yeah, of what they might say. So tell me, brothers, what do we do about it? No reason to doubt it. Love will show the way, yeah. Stand up and be counted. Sing it out and shout it. There's glory and power. Well, it's born, born, born today. Oh, yeah. Born in a manger. Nobody is stranger to love one another. Why can't we understand? And the birds in the sky sing every day and every night. Why should we worry? You know what? Love will show the way. Come on, tell me, brothers and sisters, what do we do about it? No reason to doubt it. No, no, love will show the way. Yeah. Stand up and be counted. Sing it out and shout it. Well, there's glory and power. Oh, born, 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 born on Christmas Day. Yeah. Oh, born on Christmas Day. Ring the bells on Christmas, y'all. Believe in the power of love. In the name of God, where is truth and love, and who's the chosen people, yeah. Ring those bells on Christmas Day. Ring the bells. Ring all the bells. I hear the babies crying, so many people dying. Oh, the war and hatred. Why can't we understand? To give as we receive, fill each other's needs, lend a helping hand, y'all. Come on, live it just like the man. Now tell me, brothers and sisters, what do we do about it? No reason to doubt it. You know that love is showing us the way. Stand up and be counted. Sing it out and shout it. Write about it and talk about it and keep on walking and talking. Yes, love will show us. Love will heal us. Come on and live it, breathe it, and do it, yo. Love, 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 yeah. Ringing the bells, bells of love. Come on and ringing the bells. Born on Christmas Day. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Love is gonna show us the way. Santa Claus is coming to town too. We'll have treats under the tree. We'll have, if you even have a tree, I put up a tree. Even though I'm going to be alone, I thought just celebrate life. We are in this together. You are never alone. And having this together every week for social change and for justice is very powerful, and we can change the world. Do we got time for another song, or are we ready to call it on to the next thing? Should we do another Christmas song? One more? Well, rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Oh yeah, mistletoe hung where you can see every couple wants to stop. Oh, rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas party ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and do some caroling. Oh, you will get that sentimental feeling when you hear what we hear. Voices singing, let's be jolly. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Rocking round the Christmas tree, let the Christmas party ring. Come on, girl. Every little girl and boy you know, here they go dancing. Yeah, let's dance. Oh, baby, come on, dance, dance, dance around. Christmas tree is decorated and we can sing out loud. Oh, yes, you know, you will get a sentimental feeling when you hear, oh, voices singing, let's be jolly. Come on. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, rocking around the Christmas tree, baby. You are so beautiful. We are gonna change the world in a new, old-fashioned way. That's right, postcard writing. Woo! Wow. You are precious.
Leanne Atherton, you're always so wonderful and inspiring. And it's great to have you
Thank you, Jesse.
These Zocalo Zooms. And it's great to be in your house with you. I think one of the unbelievable privileges of being able to connect via Zoom is kind of visiting somebody in their house. And it's wonderful to be welcomed in and kind of get a sense of where you live. And, you know, I do this writ large sort of thing where we get to put you all on gallery view, and I'm just looking at everybody. And we want to thank everybody for being part of this. And I don't know, it just really feels connected, you know, so it's a cool deal. And thank you for being with us once again. And you've got yourself muted. I want to introduce Caroline Aiken. Now, I know Caroline was on the call with us last week, but we didn't get a chance to talk. And let me see if I can spot you on the big picture view. Let's see. Not so much yet, but wow, we have lots of pages tonight. That is amazing. While we're waiting for Caroline.
There she is.
There you are.
I'm here.
And thank you for inviting us into your house. Where are you?
I'm in Athens, Georgia.
Epicenter. Very nice.
Truly. Today we had, the news came down that they rejected the GOP's try to get rid of about 350,000 votes in Georgia. They have just rejected it.
It's amazing.
The Republicans tried to invalidate 350,000 votes in 159 counties.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just an ongoing battering ram situation. So we're here to fight back. We're here to get people out in Georgia. Can you feel enthusiasm on the street? You know, I suspect that there's a lot of people talking.
Well, I haven't been on the street, but I have.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
But there's a lot. I mean, we just grabbed back an election for a district attorney here that Kemp tried to steal from an unconstitutional law that he passed in 2018, which the Georgia Supreme Court deemed unconstitutional. And we were just able to vote for our own district attorney, Deborah Gonzalez, the first Latina in the country, DA in the country. I don't know, but it's epic, and we're winning on so many levels because the people are paying attention.
Well, and I want to say that if Georgia can turn blue, I believe Tennessee can too.
Hello.
And we're right here next to you, and here's hoping that that those days are not far.
That's right. Awesome.
Do you want to talk a little bit about how long you've been doing this and the places it's taken you?
How long do we have? I mean, I've been playing music for 51 years professionally. I started at 14 years old, and that'll tell you how old I am. I mean, it's taken me around the country and around certain areas of Europe and the world, South America, and it's just been the best. Like, I used music as an excuse to travel. It took me,
it works.
And I learned about different people. I think the best, what's the saying, travel will get rid of ignorance. I forget the saying, but I think it helps if you can get to know different peoples and such, but they're really open your mind. But it was just it's been such a great run. I'm very lucky.
I would say that the difference between being a tourist and being a traveler is how open-hearted you are to what you're experiencing when you go everywhere and you become part of it and it becomes part of you. And that comes with you the rest of your life. It's really a blessing.
And I was mostly alone, which I think is an unique way to travel. Most people, don't travel alone. And it really... It provided me insight, whereas if I was insulated, I wouldn't have had the same interactions with people.
Well, we love having you here, and we love that you're going to play for us, Caroline Aiken, for
Thanks,
Zocalo Zoom.
It's great to be here, y'all. Leanne, I love you, sweetheart. It's great to hear you again.
I was telling how when I first became aware of you was when we had a review in American Songwriter, and I saw your name beside mine, Atherton Aiken. I thought, I got to check her out. And then, to have the circle keep going and be able to have you always available for advice and encouragement. It's amazing.
Well, thank you. And your backyard boogies are like the best. And I've been honored to be part of that too. So thank you for that. So I wrote this song with a bunch of kids that I was teaching a music camp. And well, we fought a lot. Then we talked a lot. First thing that came to mind was how to see the sunshine, how to watch the grass grow, how to watch the water flow in the air and the trees, and everything around me makes me happy. Takes me to that sacred space. Mysterious wonder when rain and thunder give into the sun and light up the sky. Mysterious wonder when rain and thunder give into the sun and light up the sky. Oh yeah, yeah. When it rains, that's okay. washes all the worries away. I look around me and I think it's so, yeah. There's so many things I wanna know. The sun is really bright today. Let it light your way from the blinding light to the stars at night. Come on, people, we don't have to fight. Mysterious wonder, wind, rain, and thunder, give into the sun and light up the sky. Mysterious wonder, wind, rain, and thunder, give into the sun and light up the sky. People who like it like I do, 'cause I know there are people who wonder too. Mysterious wonder, wind, rain, and thunder, give into the sun and light up the sky. Mysterious wonder, wind, rain, and thunder, into the sun and light up the sky. Wait a minute, I have to go back to the gallery so I can see you guys. All right. Mysterious wonder. Let's see, I was going to do next, this one, a friend of mine named Boo Ray out of Nashville. Boo Ray wrote this song, and when I heard it in a Songwriter in the Round, I asked Boo Ray if I could record it because it meant so much to me. And I want to send this out to my daughter. She is doing great, and this song was I dedicated the album to her, Sarah Page Dukes. This is called Broken Wings Heal. Concrete, fluorescent sunrise. Soon you'll forget me. I'll be the days gone by. Dreaming, can't live the dream. Coastline is gleaming. Sunsets down low in the sky. Then I will be long gone. Follow the sun all the way home. Whisper of freedom blows in the wind. Broken wings heal, and I'll fly again. I'll fly again. I'll fly again. Warm summer sunlight pours through the window. Sometimes I get low, can't see your face anymore. So long since I got a letter. One day I'll be better. One day I'll walk out that door. Then I will be long gone. Follow the sun all the way home. Whisper of freedom blows in the wind. Broken wings heal, and I'll fly again. I'll fly again. Broken Wings Heal.
Yay. It's sounding really good, Caroline. I want you to try maybe backing off on the maybe the gain or the volume. I'm not sure which. Again, a little distortion out of the guitar.
Okay. Okay. So we have a band here in Georgia called Mother's Finest. And Moses Moe, the guitar player, and I wrote this song together. This is called We're Having a War. Hold your hand up, Scott, if it's not sounding great. Break out your guns to see some action. Don't lie, we both want satisfaction. Ashes, ashes all fall down. I can see the stone look in your eye. There's something about aggression that gets you high. When there's smoke, world's on fire. I look at you, you look at me, eyes wide open, but we just can't see. It's hard to do, but here we go again. Just yesterday our enemy was our friend. Ashes, ashes all fall down. Watch out for the sound you heard behind you. A temporary silence will refine you. Where there's smoke, world's on fire. Out of the blue, Nostradamus said it come true. Surrender to a serenade, soldiers in a barricade, waiting for the guns to fade. Every starry sky, looking for my baby's eye. My heart's at home, and why ain't I? Alright. No matter how hard you try to, you never win till you know the fight's inside you. Ashes, ashes all fall down. A revelation's coming to you, just around the corner, coming through you. Where there's smoke, the world's on fire. I look at you, you look at me, eyes wide open, but we just can't see. Oh no, oh, we're having a war. In our confusion, we're all united, still having a war, and if no one cares, well, there's hell out there, you know. Must be hell, having a war. Ashes, ashes all fall down. Wow, yeah. Oh, I just miss being with y'all, you know. It's just been such a surreal time to get to play for you is like the greatest honor. And thank you for writing postcards. Thank you for your energy coming to Georgia. I thought about leaving Georgia, but I said, I believe in Georgia. I love Georgia. I'm from Georgia. the 7th generation here in Georgia. My people came over here as indentured servants, growing crops for King George in 1735. My father's people came here in 1725 to fight the Spanish so the British could have this area. So I love traveling around the country, but I love being here. And I just can't tell you how grateful I am that y'all are helping us wake everybody up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So this is a song a friend of mine in California. Her name is Rebecca Chern. She's in Santa Barbara. She's a great musician. And she wrote this little song, and I just have to do it all the time. This is called The Small Planet. Hey, what's the carbon footprint of a bomb? Tell the truth, come on. We sit here in our dim fluorescent light while you're blowing up the planet day and night. Hey, what's the mileage on them F-18s? My car don't drink that much gas in his dreams. Now you wanna ruin our water with tar sands so you can blow up some more folks in other lands. But it's a small planet, war is just absurd. It's a small planet, let's all use our words. Say, what's the price tag on that big old tank? Did it make a lot of money for the bank? We got depleted uranium war machines. I hope you like uranium with those collard greens. 'Cause it's a small planet, war is just absurd. It's a small planet, let's all use our words. That's right. Now most of my tax money pays for war. Sometimes I wonder who I'm working for. Gonna quit my job, grow vegetables out back, kinda doing that now. Don't want no part of killing, that's a fact. 'Cause it's a small planet, war is just absurd. It's a small planet, let's all use our words. A small planet, war is just absurd. It's a small planet, let's all use our words. All right. Now, hey, what's the carbon footprint of a bomb? Yeah! All right, y'all have to tell me when it's time for me to stop, because I'll do this all night long. Scott. Let's see.
You got like 15 more minutes.
Okay, good. All right, I'm going to play a song on the piano. My daughter wrote these words at the age of 12, and she won. How's that sound? Sound all right? All right. She won first place in Georgia, third place in the country with these lyrics. Change. worry about the future. I had it all planned out. When I stopped to realize something felt quite strange, suddenly I turned around and everything had changed. My hair was there, my witch was where, and I couldn't recognize the things I saw as I dropped my jaw at what lay before my eyes. All the things I so carefully arranged had somehow gotten misplaced. It was all twisted and deranged and laughing in my face, 'cause everything had changed. Started anew. From my past, my future grew. Gave it strength, from there it flew out of the clouds. The sun shone through. So if you think you've got it planned, know that life isn't fair. If you suddenly turn around, be ready for what's there, 'cause everything can change. Everything can change. Baby, Paige Dukes. So, let me go over here, put the beast on. Beast. The beast is my first love. My first love. And this is an Emerson, Lake and Palmer tune that I really love to play at Christmas. Father Christmas. They say there'll be snow at Christmas. They say there'll be peace on earth. But instead it just kept on raining, a veil of tears for the virgin birth. I remember one Christmas morning, winter's light and a distant choir, and the beloved bell, and that Christmas tree smell in their eyes, full of tinsel and fire. They sold me a dream of Christmas. They sold me a silent night. They told me a silent fairy story till I believed in the Israelite. And I believed in Father Christmas. I looked to the sky with excited eyes till I woke with a yawn in the first light of dawn, and I saw him and through his disguise. I wish you a hopeful Christmas. I wish you a brave new year. All pain, anguish, pain, and sadness, leave your heart, let your road be clear. They say there'll be snow at Christmas. They say there'll be peace on earth, with a beloved bell and that Christmas tree smell in their eyes, full of tinsel and fire, full of tinsel and fire. Oh, there you go. And then one more. So, this has kind of been a battle cry of ours here, thanks to Deborah Gonzalez, who is our new district attorney, who is all for criminal justice, reformed criminal justice. And there was a woman that was in jail here for a year without being charged for any crime. And she's out now, but we have some serious stuff happening here that is going to change, and I'm very, very hopeful. So I'm going to leave you with this song. This is called Vote of Confidence, and I wrote this with a bunch of German students of mine, and here it goes, Vote of Confidence. And again, thank you all so much for being here tonight and supporting us here in Georgia. Ossloff, Warnock, Blackman, Public Service Commissioner. We have got to have people in office who have a conscience, and these guys do. So here we go. Vote of confidence, and thank y'all. What is it? What it is? Tell me, what is it? What is it? What it is? What is that? Vote of confidence. Vote of confidence. Vote of confidence. Is an ignorance, is an impotence, or is it prudence? We're still on the road, we're still on the fence. Blind trust isn't blind trust. What is it then? What it is? Tell me, what is it? What is it now? What it is? What is it? Vote of confidence, vote of confidence, vote of confidence is now tainted by arrogance, is not under the influence, is not under the influence, that's right. What is it? What it is? Tell me, what is it? What is it? What it is? Yeah. Vote of confidence, vote of confidence, vote of confidence. I can stand tall and strong when I know where I belong. Cast that vote and sleep at night. Vote of confidence will feel alright. What is it? What Yow! Oh, it's been great. Thanks, y'all.
Caroline Aiken, that was awesome. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing your music with us and sharing your story with us and your passion for Georgia.
Thanks, Jesse.
It takes that. We have to care about where we live, you know, and everything is local. So thank you for doing what you're doing. And we hope to make a difference even more, continue to make a difference. And I know the postcarding is going on, and we're bound and determined to get to 200,000 postcards. Speaking of making a difference, and that's Kari and team and all the folks that are on. And thank you all for just sticking to it and doing it every single week. And you know, I think that this will continue even after this election, and we'll just keep going. We'll just keep rolling because the midterms will be coming. I want to check back in with Alex Beard. I love what you're producing, and every time we bring you on screen, I look to see how many birds I can count in your art. It's just amazing.
Thanks. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Ooh, we're getting some color. Very nice.
What a pleasure that was, listening to that great music while I'm sitting here doodling away in the studio.
We love that.
Yeah,
Look at
really
this. Look at this. It's almost like there's a family of birds here.
Well, you know, birds of a feather, right? I mean, we're going for some sort of loose metaphor here, so it seemed to me like it made sense.
Well, plus, I mean, not that it's a partridge, but certainly.
No, that's right.
We could go down that road if you like.
I was thinking while I was painting and listening to the music, and everybody's doing the postcards, and somebody was interviewing me the other day about, I live in New Orleans, right? So Louisiana's represented here as well through the South. And they were asking me why I lived in New Orleans, and I've given so many crappy answers over the years that all sort of are very self-referential. You know, I like it here, blah, blah, blah. But it occurred to me that the reason that I live in New Orleans is because it's as close to the backstage of the Muppet Show as I can find in the United States, right? There's a certain ethos to the chaos and the bohemia and the performance and everybody working together, and Waldorf and Statler, you know, cracking from the balcony, and it all kind of comes together here in New Orleans. And I'm a bit of a hippy dippy, right? I mean, I grew up in the 1970s and was always raised with this idea that together we can all make a difference. And, you know, the commune idea has become sort of caricatured, but there's something to it, right? I mean, something that everybody gets to do what they can do to help participate. And tying all of this together into politics and postcarding to try to, you know, make the backstage of our collective Muppet Show a little more organized. It's really a pleasure to be a part of. It makes me feel like now 50 years down the road here that the lessons that we were taught as kids, we're implementing them now in a sort of a postmodern technological world, but with tried and true old-fashioned technique. And, you know, it's just a great pleasure to be a part of. So that's my 2 cents for now.
There's something to be said about cooperation. Not everything is a competition. Not everything is about elbowing each other out of the way to get somewhere. Some of it is about the collective that we can be part of and we can take strength and drink deep from. And that's what this is. And,
you know, I'll tell you, I actually think that competition, you know, we live in a capitalist society, so fine, competition is part of the backbone of that. But if you're talking about life, the universe, and everything, then competition is actually not such a great goal, right? I mean, when people ask me about how I go about my own artistic career, I emphasize the point that I'm not in competition with my peers, but rather in collaboration to try to bring our collective understanding, inch it forward, so that, you know, as my children grow up and their children grow up, that we have a slightly better sense of who we are in relationship to our surroundings, and how do we better the human experience. Because ultimately, you know, the corpus in which we're all trapped, that organic mess that holds us back, but also gives us great, a vessel for enlightenment. The competition is good for the individual, bad for the collective. And so, you know, this sort of falls into that category too, working together for the greater good. It's nice to be part of.
Well, I also like that your love of wildlife and philanthropy have come hand in hand, and that your foundation advances that.
That's also ultimately very self-referential to the species. And what I mean by that is, if we destroy the natural world, don't think that we're not animals too. Very hard to live in an unbalanced environment. And of course, we live in an increasingly unbalanced environment. And I would argue, in fact, I know that there's a political message here to what we're doing tonight. And I would argue that the building blocks for how we got to where we are in terms of Trumpism and xenophobia, et cetera, is because of that unequal balance of ourselves in relationship to our surroundings, a lost connection to nature. And, you know, ultimately we're kind of panicking. And we're panicking because the warren is too full and the weather is too hot and, you know, all the rest of these things. You put too many rabbits in a warren, they stop reproducing and they start eating each other. And I kind of feel like so much of how we've gotten to where we are is because we're eating each other's tails. And I think that roots back to an inability to see the stars at night, an inability to know what direction, you know, the sun rises and sets in. I mean, it's just the most basic, simple things that for the entirety of the existence of human beings on the planet up until the last 20 to 30 years have been given that you would know them. All of a sudden, we don't know how anything works. And that's it's very disassociating from being able to get up every morning and go out into a world with some semblance of confidence that you know where you stand. And so, you know, that's sort of a very circuitous route to get us back to the environment and our responsibility to try to take care of each other and our fellow species and forests and oceans, etc. But ultimately, it all fits in the same boot. And I would then argue that the reason it's so important for those of us that are not in Georgia to be supporting Ossloff and Warnock in Georgia is so that we can have a government who understands that it's not just how much can you make and how much can you grift, but rather how do we try to solve some of these great global challenges. We were talking earlier about, and I'm going on a little bit, so I'll get back to my painting in a second, but we were talking a little bit earlier about the difference between a tourist and a traveler. And I was always raised to understand that travel is the best education. And the thing about that is not just that you see more things and know more facts, but you meet more people who have dissimilar backgrounds than you do, and you learn that you are all in fact alike. There's something extraordinary about the ethos of the traveler, where you are, when you're on the road, welcomed into people's homes, graciously and generously and enthusiastically. And that then in turn, the responsibility falls to us when we're at home to welcome those on the road, right? And that can be taken as an individual's mantra, but it should also be taken as a nation's mantra. And so again, back to why it's so important. Now, by the way, I'd like to say that I'm not just a New York Democratic progressive liberal living in a blueberry and a cherry pie in New Orleans, right? I mean, I am a bit of those things too, but I also believe that it's important to have a government where the other side's voices are heard and where the rights of the minority are also respected, but not if it's in the context of obstruction so as to break the system to be able to game it. And the McConnell doctrine is that obstruction to game the system, as opposed to constructive contribution from the minority's voice. So, I wanted to just make that distinction, that it's not, that what we're doing here is not just a hippy-dippy left-wing thing, but rather trying to rejigger the balance in our political system so that we can, look each other in the eye and move forward.
So power is not the goal, doing good by people using what we can to make lives better is the goal, and not just, using the power to stay in power, which is
No,
really
for
what
sure. Life is hard, man. I mean, everybody has their own cup of soup that they've got to drink, and they're all full of bugs, right? So, life is hard enough as it is, without trying to make other people's lives difficult to enrich ourselves. It's so short-sighted and foolish. It would be nice if we could, thinking about Christmas, obviously it's about to be Christmas and Christmas songs, and then in turn New Year's. And over the years, I've thought about that. Obviously Christmas is a Western convention. And, for example, in India, they're not celebrating Christmas in the same way, or in China, they're not celebrating Christmas in the same way. The same is true with New Year's, right? Of course, because of New Year's, the Chinese have a different calendar date for when New Year's is than we do. But those two dates, Christmas and New Year's, do tend to be global pauses where everybody goes home and takes a breath. And it seems like the news on Christmas is not news of war. The news on New Year's is not news of poverty and destitution and forgetting about that part of our population, but rather news of hope and rebirth. And so that has always been to me the thing that's so special about this time of year, is that even when things are not going great, we do have that sort of global pause where we're all of us celebrating the same bank holiday. And so there's something quite nice about that.
I love the piece of it. And thank you so much for sharing, Alex Beard. We'll continue to watch you create.
Yes, back to my birds of a feather. I'm going to mute myself again and let you all carry on.
It's so great to have art and have music. I want to bring Scott back in and bring Amy Ray on, and let's talk some more activism.
Excellent, excellent. That was just so beautifully stated by Alex, and it leads so nicely into our conversation with Amy Ray. I think that the way that initially the core that brings to mind with regards to Amy's work is her work as founding as one of the founders of Honor the Earth, and working with Indigenous people in this country's wisdom, as well as trying to help to leverage music and the arts and media to build resources for their needs. And so that is, Amy, maybe you could kind of dovetail in on some of the thoughts that Alex had there with regards to that native wisdom and how that's kind of formed your work with the founding of Honor the Earth. And let's see, your that
There we
mute
go.
is still on there, Amy.
How about now?
There we go.
First of all, Alex is so articulate, and that was beautifully spoken, everything that he said. And it's great to see his art, and it's great to be with y'all. It's great to be with you, Jesse, Scott. I mean, first of all, this project is so awesome, and it's great, like getting people together to do activism, but in a fun way, in a communal way. That's just what I'm all about. Collaboration and collective action. And that's really what Honor the Earth is about. Emily and I started Honor the Earth with Winona LaDuke, and we heard her speak at an Earth Day in 1991, I believe, and up in Foxborough Stadium, up in Boston, outside of Boston. And she just, her whole, the lens that she saw through, and the paradigm, and the way she was speaking about environmentalism was so, I was kind of dumbstruck. Like I hadn't, it was a click moment for me, for sure. And, it was just this powerhouse of a person as well, who I believe could just, I don't know, like really talk to a lot of people and distill information in this way that those of us that need to hear it can really understand it. So we got involved with Honor the Earth. We started Honor the Earth, Native activism. We wanted to fund existing groups that were doing activism already and needed more amplification, needed more illumination, needed to build a bridge to the non-Native communities so that those of us who aren't Native can understand what's going on in Native America. And they were winning battle after battle against big corporations. They were setting precedents. They were changing laws. They were lobbying the government in a way that was creative and super effective. And I think a lot of it went unseen a lot of times. And they weren't getting that much of a percentage of like foundation money and philanthropy. And the media did not talk about Indigenous peoples as much. And so we just felt like this is how we want to do environmentalism. We want to illuminate these people that are such effective activists. And that's really why we got involved. It's just grassroots work, paying attention to what your elders say, working from the community perspective. You don't go in as a white person and start running things. You listen to the community, and you listen. Each community has different needs, and every community is made up of a lot of different kinds of people. And so you sort of listen more than anything, and you try to amplify what's being done that's good. So it's carried on up until now, and still going on right now. The Winona is leading a bunch of people up in northern Minnesota that are blocking line 3 of a pipeline that is just being built for really no reason. And it's like kind of another Standing Rock, but it's up in northern Minnesota, and it's the middle of winter, and there are people camped along the Mississippi River trying to block these pipelines from getting built. And you can go to honortheearth.org and look at it, but we'll be posting about it in the next couple of weeks, because they're basically just camps all up and down the Mississippi River and up in the north, trying to stop this pipeline. And it's going to affect a lot of water quality and wild rice beds and quality of public health issues, and also just increases the sort of encouragement of fossil fuels. And we're trying to support good energy projects instead of bad energy projects. So that's sort of what we're about. We do cultural restoration, cultural sustainability, agricultural stuff. We do fighting fossil fuels, trying to support sustainable energy. I mean, language recovery. It runs the gamut of things that we support. A lot of youth-oriented stuff as well. So, yeah, and I mean, to tie it in with voting, that we've done a lot of get out the vote work in Native country, in Indian country for the past 20 years, and it's incredible the way it's increased time and time. And finally, when you hear politicians speak, they speak of Indigenous people. It used to be like you list, anybody, even the most progressive Democrat would make a list of all the disenfranchised people, and they would never mention Indigenous people, and it would drive me crazy. But this year we have really seen that change. And I think that's through the movements of the youth movements and the elders in Native activism that have finally made themselves been so strong that they're visible. And so now our leaders are talking more and including the indigenous people in when they have conversations. And Deb Howland's being nominated for a cabinet position for Secretary of Interior. There's just a lot of great stuff going on. And I think the Native vote was really help win this election. And my lady Kamala got in there, and I love her so much. Joe Biden too, but Kamala's my woman. So I feel really good about just the youth movements that have started to understand intersectionality and the way a queer activist can relate to an activist who's working on issues of racism, and a person when working on migration, immigrant issues can be working on poverty issues, and they can cross over with someone working on anti-death penalty work. It's very, we now have understood how to have allies, and I think we're being taught by young movements that that's the way we should be. And it's an old idea, but it's finally coming into the light. And so I think this ties in with just all the help with people are giving to Georgia and trying to get these elections to go our way, which is, I mean, it's possible, I think we can do it. And it's incredible actually to be from Georgia and to have this happening is like, I mean, usually we're like the center of so much bad news all the time, and I get defensive because I'm from 5 generations of Georgians, and I'm always like, don't insult my family, but we are a dysfunctional state to a certain degree. And I think, or we have been, but we've also always had a great dialogue about race and a great dialogue about classism, and just, it's always out in the open, and we're always learning. And so the South I love the South, and I love the dialogue in the South, and I love to hear people on both sides of the issues talk, but I can't tolerate racism by any stretch. And so I think that this is an important election because of that. I think race is on the ballot, in a big way. And with Daniel Blackman running, and if you're not from Georgia, this man running for Public Service Commissioner is incredible. I met him a couple years ago. I've been following him. I'm a fan, and he's got to win this Public Service Commissioner election, and then I think he'll go bonkers from there and just go places because he's an amazing man, and he ties everyone together.
We hosted him on a meeting last week, and we were blown away, and we turned around and we're like, "What? Oh, I blew it. We didn't have him on our postcarding earlier. We got him on there right away." And like you say, he is a national treasure.
He is. He's one of, when I first heard him being interviewed, I was like, oh my God, this guy, like, I will follow this person. Like, he is so smart, and just his ideas about having barriers come down, and he speaks to people on both sides of the aisle. He's like a Stacey Abrams, like when Stacey comes to, I live in a small town in North Georgia. It's very rural, super conservative. But when Stacey Abrams comes and speaks in our town, she speaks to everyone, and she changes people. And that's the kind of people we need. We need people that are willing to like speak to people that don't share their same ideas, and yeah. And listen to what they have to say, and Stacey does that. And I think that's why she's so important to getting out why she's made getting out the vote such a big thing, is that she wants people to be able to have a voice. And this is one way that we can do it. Yeah.
Envoys was founded via Beto's campaign in Texas, and it really resonates a lot with, I think, I think he learned a lot from what was going on over there with respect to the movement that had been going on, going out and speaking to everybody in every county, and that's what he did, obviously, in Texas. And so, before we wrap up the conversation part, Amy, just wanted to get just a little insight. I love Southern Mexico. I'm so fascinated by the fact that you've been down there a few times working with the Zapatistas down there, and wondering if you could, if there's anything you'd like to share with us about like just what that experience was like. I know it must have taken some really serious legwork during these times to make sure you were aligned with the right people, having your back, and going into an area that's contentious like that, with the stakes very high.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Yeah, I guess it was the mid 90s. The first time I went down there, Honor the Earth was funding some different projects down there with the Zapatistas. One of them was to bring in water trucks to provide some fresh water, and one of them was to help the women with a collective to stockpile materials, because every time they would hike into the villages, the Zapatistas, different indigenous groups kind of live sort of outside of the towns in the rainforest and areas, and when they would walk into town to get supplies, the military would harass them, and sometimes they would get raped, they would get attacked, and so they wanted to be able to just get all their supplies and stockpile them in a place so they wouldn't have to make so many trips. We funded some of that stuff, and we went down there. I think I've been down there 2-3 times, and the Zapatistas, I don't even know what to say. I mean, that movement is so important, and it taught me so much about activism and grassroots activism. And we felt safe because we were surrounded by military, and there were helicopters everywhere and all that stuff. But they don't let you come down there unless they know it's going to be safe. I mean, they were very careful about that. And there was a moment when we had to leave because it was getting too dangerous, and so we did, and things like that. It was a beautiful experience. Emily and I played at one point in this one little village, and they played and we played, and they had like these generators running that would have lights, and it was like the middle of the rainforest, and we were all playing and people were dancing, and it was just so beautiful, the experience. It's hard to even, I can't believe I was there in a way, like sleeping in a hammock and collecting firewood and hanging out with Subcomandante, David and things like that. So it was like crazy, mind-blowing stuff. But those activists, the Zapatista activists, the feminism and the anti-misogyny work they do, and they're pro-queer, and it's an amazing society, actually. And you have to be in line if you're going to be part of it. You have to be in line with what they espouse, which is a whole boilerplate of very progressive things. And I just learned a lot. And what they really taught me the most is like work in your own area for the greater collective good. We don't need you to come here and do our work for us. We need you to come here and learn from us, and then take it to where you are and do work there. And I think it was a great lesson to learn. So yeah, beautiful thing. That was a special time.
Well, one quick plug is the Rojava movement, in northern Syria. That's a part of the Kurdish area that expands 5 different states, and they really created a kind of utopian vision that was based on an activist named Murray Bookchin out of Vermont. His work that was distilled by Abdullah Öcalan, who's in a Turkish prison for life in lieu of the death sentence, so that Turkey can stay in the EU. And meanwhile, his vision they have created this utopia of sorts with a bottom up type of. Have you heard much about Rojava?
No.
And most people have not. And so when we pulled out of Syria, quickly under Trump, that was what was in the balance. Hanging in the balance was Rojava, and they are extremely progressive, anti-misogynist, pro-ecology, and those are the foundational tenets. But anyway, wouldn't it be nice if some of these things start to kind of link together around the world as we're facing this kind of creeping autocracy and whatnot of these dictators from Brazil to United States wannabe to Turkey and beyond. So anyway, I just wanted to toss that out there. I love that
check
story.
That out. That's amazing. I want to learn about that.
Yeah. Well, Jesse, want to put a bow on this before we're not going to have Robyn with us tonight for the Georgia Hour. We just got the Georgia report straight from you and Caroline, and that was just awesome. And
Caroline, she knows a lot. She's one of my mentors. So
we love bringing y'all together. And Jesse, it's all thanks to Jesse for connecting us all.
Well, and thanks, Amy Ray, for joining us tonight. Let's talk music a little bit before we have you play. Are there new albums in the works, and what might we see in 2021?
God, who knows? God. Yeah, I mean, I'm writing. Indigo Girls are working on a virtual concert to stream, like with the band, and it's a piece of work. So it's going to be a long journey. Everybody's recording from their own homes, and it's like, craziness. So we're working on that. And I'm writing, and I'm just doing, like, when I finish a song, I send it out to my solo band, and they learn their parts, and we work on it for like a month, remotely. And then we each record in our own homes. And the producer that produced my country records, Holler and Goodnight Tender, is our producer still. And so Brian and I've got one that came out called Tear It Down. I've got another called Muscadine that's coming out in a couple weeks that we're done with. We're just mixing it and waiting for the new year to put it out. It's just a simple love song, nothing political. And and I've got a whole batch of songs I'm working on, and I'm just going to release singles and videos, and at some point we'll put them all on vinyl and put it out there. But Emily and I are, we put our record out in like May. It's called Look Long, and right, in the middle of the pandemic, and so we're still, we're hoping to tour behind that when we can, when it's safe to tour, and then I guess we'll make another record. I mean, I don't know. We're just, we talk all the time, so we're figuring it out. But we really do want to get this virtual concert done. It's going to be like just fun little vignettes and interviews and like songs and stuff from guest artists playing with us and things like that. It'll be fun.
Sounds amazing. And
Well, we'll
yes,
see.
it's been wonderful.
I don't know
No,
if amazing-
seriously.
It's hard to
Figuring
know if it's
it
gonna be
out
amazing.
in the midst of all of this has been really interesting. Learning curve for a lot of people, a step up of technology. But what's emerging is, again, the humanity comes through it. And that's been so essential. So thank you.
Yeah, no,
You know.
I am seeing like so many people online that I never get to see live, and like seeing so many, shows and interviews, and it is cool in that way, but oh, what a learning curve. Yeah. I had to learn how to record things digitally, and I'm an analog person. So I was like, wow, it's been rough. But
There's a lot
all
of that
good.
going on.
I'm glad I know now.
Totally. And, there'll be new stuff and new pieces of equipment and, new lighting and,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's ongoing. It's an
The ring
ongoing
light.
adult education.
Yeah, totally.
Would you play for us, please?
I will play. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'll just play. Do you want me to just play for a while? I mean, is that
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Play
let it.
people a postcard.
okay?
Let
Thanks,
it-
sir. I just want to give a shout out to the postcarders out there, and I can see y'all. Thank y'all for doing that. It's good because it does remind people. People actually, they think about voting and then sometimes they forget. So getting mail is really important. I went and voted today, and I live in a area that goes about 20% Democrat and 80% other stuff. And they know me when I come in. Wish me luck. But anyway, I'm just gonna play some tunes because just think of it as a little background entertainment for y'all. Alex is gonna be doing his artwork, and I'll be playing some songs. I'm practicing for the gig that matters. In the sky, in the sky, I'm singing for all my friends who felt love when they fly, when they fly. Gonna say, hey, St. Peter, listen to my song here. I've been riding all my life, and I know you've heard every golden-throated angel, but I hear redemption, it knows no bounds. Too many days I lived a life of leisure, while folks would starve for food and rest. And it's true, heaven medley. I can't help but change my tune. Yeah. So I'm practicing for the gig that matters. So I can't sing this world is true. Every drunk that I played for kept me right. Oh, kept me right. Every wayward preacher, aimless soldier, kept me in line, kept me in line. It is a song for all the sinners who never know they made the difference, and the working saints abandoned in the trenches, that Lamb of God lost in the woods. I'm practicing for the gig that matters. I want to see my Savior's face. Well, St. Peter says, sing your song, child, and I'll let you through these pearly gates. Gonna say, hey, Lordy, I'm here to bear some witness. No disrespect, but just in case you missed it, there's some long haul suffering, broken folks that need mending, and they ain't seen your help yet. There's some long haul suffering, broken folks that need mending, and they ain't seen your help yet. Oh, so that's called Gig That Matters. Looks good, Alex. Really good. I'm gonna play a little raucous tune called Sure Feels Good. I don't have a cold, I have allergies. And 13 animals right now, so. All right, just got a tune for this. So this song, I wrote this after this group tried to organize they were trying to get the best of the town and posted this this sign over one of our historical buildings that said historical meeting place of the Ku Klux Klan, and they got a rise out of us because we all showed up. A couple hundred of us showed up in town and protested, and it was about the flag, the Confederate flag, and all that jazz. But I find that I love the South, and I'm always trying to understand how to be more understanding, I guess is the best way to put it. I'll get your text about 3 a.m. when I cross back over the border again. Bye-bye Canada, hello USA. Those lefties sure make a lot of sense. Sometimes it's nice to feel good in my skin, but I trade it all for some Southern hospitality. I know that you don't like me, but it sure feels good anyway. I know that you don't like me, but it sure feels good anyway. I'm gonna tell them boys, don't be a drag. Ain't you tired of fighting about the damned old flag? It ain't Southern pride, it's just Southern hate. And I know from your mamas that you're better than that. Every time I call, well, you have my back. Took time for bloody bloodies and a tall glass of sweet tea. I know that you don't like me, but it sure feels good anyway. Yeah. I know that you don't like me, but it sure feels good. I got gravel from the road in the bottom of my boot. The kiss that you left is still burning through. I can't I see you dancing out there. Good dancing.
That's Holland. She's our mascot.
It's great to have a dancer. My 7-year-old's upstairs, hopefully asleep, possibly asleep, probably not. All right, I'm gonna do. I don't know what y'all want for entertainment. If you want like fast songs or if you want like some slow, I'll just do whatever. I'll just do some stuff. Okay. I'll do this. It's a quieter song. Come and sit down at this table where we share all of our food, where we argue till we're nothing but a shell of what we knew. Let me count the ways I love you and the ways I hurt you too. Let me hang there in the balance. I would die to be anew, 'cause it's true. Most of the time I'm treading water with no sign, keeping my head just high enough to holler if you believe. I believe too. And it's true, I'm scared of dying. Let it shape me through and through. I don't take much stock in heaven. If I can make this right with you, so let me reckon with my blessings. Let me find my way to you, because I ain't afraid of living. I never say I got nothing to lose. 'Cause it's true, most of the time treading water with no sign, keeping my head just high enough to holler if you believe, then I believe too. All right. I'm gonna do a little gospel song. Let's make the glory land right here where we stand. Jesus was a walking man. Egypt, Jordan, Judea, Jericho, Samaria. Jesus was a I'm seeing y'all's comments. Awesome. Awesome stuff. I'm gonna do one for Nashville. Jesse Scott. Jesse Scott, my friend in Nashville. Oh, Tennessee. Tennessee can go. They can go blue sometime, I think. I thought they had more potential than we did, actually, but you never know how the chips are going to fall. It's all about turnout. It's all about voting. I drive all night just to sing in Nashville. A couple of songs at the Bluebird Cafe. Drive back home all through the night, dear, for a couple of dances with my breakfast plate. I don't forget about that highway when the lights in my eyes shine. They're talking in the back of the bar, honey, I don't mind. If it don't feed my soul, it's still heaven sent. Yeah, tonight I'm paying the rent. I seen a truck on fire in the still of the night, and the car flipped over. I helped the drunks get right. Now I'm glad-handed at the garden party. They bought the stage, hell, well, they bought me. I don't forget about that highway when the lights in my eyes shine, and the talking in the back of the bar, honey, I don't mind. It don't feed my soul, it's still heaven sent. Yeah, tonight I'm paying the rent. Let me sing for the one, 40 acres and a mule that I left back home, the kind of baby too. Squash on the vine, I know this life's for picking. Oh, but this rodeo clown is the time for ticking. I don't forget about that highway when the lights in my eyes shine. They're talking in the back of the bar, honey, I don't mind. But it don't feed my soul, it's still heaven sent. Yeah, tonight I'm paying the rent. Tonight I'm paying the rent. That's a funny song to sing when you're not touring. But it's good because it makes me appreciate how good it's going to feel to play a show out there. All right, I'm going to do a new song. I heard about this great group in Alabama called Project Say Something, and they're near Muscle Shoals in a town called Florence, Alabama, and they've been working on dismantling racism for a long time, years, and more of late they were working on trying to get a Confederate monument relocated from their courthouse square in Lauderdale County to like a Confederate cemetery or someplace more appropriate. And I met these activists, and they're just so inspiring. And I wrote a song after that, kind of for them, really. Just from my perspective. And I grew up just really embracing all these symbols of the South, and, you know, my little rebel flag and my little, you know, I was just really into like Southern rock and the Confederacy, and I was an idiot. I had no idea I had no idea. So anyway, this is kind of from me, trying to reform person, and thanking them. You say I miss the old ways, but not like that. Dog whistling fool of a king. Don't you know that old Dixieland is more than dirt roads and simple ways? Tear it down, oh, tear it down, that ragged cross of race. I don't guess that we deserve all this, the beauty and the light, the way the firefly returns in June as dusk sings her lullaby. All the lives that fertilized the manifested hand, the human bondage that provides the bounty of this land. Tear it down, oh, tear it down, that ragged cross of race. The stone and the ore beaten into monuments that rose out of hate. I was that lonely kid in old cinemas, watching Gone with the Wind. Tradition runs the core of me, and a song of South, whistling Dixie again. Oh, that tune lived and breathed in me, and it wants to live again. We must fight with all our might to kill that racist hymn. So tear it down, oh, tear it down, that ragged cross of race. The stone and the ore beaten into monuments that epitaph I long to read. Here lies slavery. Cool. All right. I think I have time for one more. So I'm gonna get my Mando out and do a little song about Dwayne Allman. One of the things we can be really proud of in the South is that we birthed Dwayne Allman. He came on up from way across the edge, from a whiskey swamp and a vagabond clan. With a tune in her bucket and her head held high, and a book about a grandpa flying the sky. He said, man, it ain't never gonna be the same, and I'll give him a chance. No one can play like Dwayne.
Amy Ray, rocking.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for being with us.
That's good.
Thank you for the music you've given to us. Thank you for your activism.
It's all good.
And let's all work together and make a difference in Georgia.
Yeah, man. Thanks to all the postcarders. We really appreciate the help here, and thanks to Alex Beard. And I should mention the Watering Hole Foundation too, which is Alex's group, and thank him for having that. It looks beautiful, Alex. It's awesome. Thank you to Scott Bramer and Kari. Thank you. And I see Leanne's muted, but thank you, Leanne. And Caroline Aiken, it was good to share the screen with Caroline. She's a dear friend. I mean, gave me and Emily one of our first shots in the arm and a chance, really. Met us when we were super young, hanging out in the back alley of a bar, and she just helped us a lot. So thanks to Caroline Aiken for continuing the crusade and activism and everything that she does. It's so great.
Well, we love it. Love you. Thank you for being with us. And Georgia first, Tennessee next.
Yeah, and then the whole South. Let's go.
Yes. Texas, come on.
We're going to take it back. It's ours. Let's do it. Thank y'all.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you again, Amy Ray, for Zocalo Zoom tonight.
Thank
Great
you.
to see you. And let's check in with Alex. There are final touches being done and more coloration. And I'm loving how that looks. It's just so eternal.
Well, you know, the nature of these oil paintings is that they take a little while to do. So I'm going to work on it over the next couple of days to finish it, and then I'll post it on, the Alex Beard Studio website, and I'll have my guys put it on social media. So if anybody that's been watching it start wants to see it finished, look out over the next couple of days, and it'll go up. And I don't know what I'll call it yet. I do like the birds of a feather, but I think I've used that name before. So I'm going to have to come up with something else. Maybe we'll call it, Georgia Blue.
There you go. Well, it's been absolutely wonderful being up close with you and watching the art. Amazingly developed for the course of this evening. So I'm really I'm amazed at how far it's come from just the lines at the beginning. That's cool.
Well, I enjoyed doing it. It's really been nice being with you all, and I wish everybody a very Merry Christmas or a Happy Hanukkah or a Kwanzaa or whatever you celebrate, and a bright and happy New Year, and all of us moving forward together. So thank you all very much for being with me.
Alex Beard, thank you for being with us. Scott Bramer, you want to take it? And
thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Alex. Alex, we look forward to looking online and seeing the outcome there. Your words of wisdom and everything that you added has just it really takes our program to the next level. We're extremely grateful.
Well, it's very nice of you to say. As I say, it's really my pleasure and my honor to be in such esteemed company. So thank you for having me.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to working with you in the time to come and supporting all of your efforts there through your foundation, as well as your merging of your kind of bliss and your occupation, and that, as I was saying to Kari today, is something that if everybody could do, we would be in a more utopian world, and that's that's something we can all aspire for.
Yeah, well, it's so much easier to be nice than it is to be mean.
Right.
it takes a lot of energy to be mean.
It's impossibly difficult to be mean. It's so straightforward and easy to be nice.
Well, thanks for walking that walk for us, and we are going to look forward to next week, where we're going to have with us. What is going on? It's fast and furious. Okay, so next week we're going to have the return of Guitar Phil. He's going to be playing with his band out of the studio in Nashville, and they will be socially distanced in the studio together. They've done this once for us before, and he recently produced an album for Latasha Brown. Latasha is the founder of Black Voters Matter, and she is out of Atlanta but works all over the South and beyond, and she is one of the most passionate, dynamic democracy advocates that you are ever going to hear, and is frequently on the cable and shows, CNN and MSNBC, etc. And another gifted speaker, and so we're going to move from and also an artist like we've had tonight with Alex's thoughts and Amy's thoughts. Latasha is as I said, Guitar Phil did the production work for her upcoming album, and
which is, if I can jump in, it's all Freedom Rider songs. So it's a historically based album, and we're going to be able to play a little bit next week just by sharing screen, and it's incredible. And Phil produced it, so we're really, really happy to have both of them with us next week.
Yeah. So that is going to be a beautiful thing. Thank you for setting that up, Jesse. The Nashville music scene, and having you there on the ground. I know you're connected throughout the country, but just Guitar Phil is there in Nashville, and tonight we had Jamie Harris and Mary Gaucher in the backstage area before doing a sound check before the show, because Jamie Harris is our kind of our technical guru, and she was helping out. She helped out both Caroline and Amy today with their rig to get all dialed in for everybody tonight. And it just, segueing out of the Nashville bit, but just, into the national dimension of our community and our the way we're growing together every week. We've now worked with Alex a couple of times. As I mentioned, Mary Gaucher and Jamie have been on several times, and they're helping out others. Leanne came on first to do a show, and she has stuck with us as our music minister now for a dozen or so episodes of this, maybe more. And it just it really it warms our hearts to see what we have done, how our vision has come to fruition in so many ways. Kari, and if you want to jump in and put a bow on that for us.
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, I think we're starting to get a slightly, I know I am getting a little nostalgic, since this is our second to last Zocalo of the election cycle. We're not done yet. We're going to take a moment to breathe and take in everything that we've learned since we've started back in December of 2018 with Beto O'Rourke's run for president, or 2018? Yeah, 18, right? Oh my gosh, it's flying by.
Yeah, 2000, yeah.
2018 with Beto O'Rourke's run for president, and then reinventing ourselves when he dropped out on November 1st of last year, and where we are now. And so we're gonna take a moment to breathe and to take all that in, and to know that we're not finished yet. We're just getting started. In our DNA is we want to bring people together, volunteers together, show them ways to get involved, and hopefully it leads them on to more and rigorous volunteer opportunities and getting involved in their local communities and getting involved nationwide, and injecting joy into the process and events like these. And so yeah, I think I'm feeling a little nostalgic tonight, especially after all this wonderful music and talented art. So we still have some work to do in this election. Georgia is still in play. So let's surpass 200,000 postcards written. Somebody had asked about deadlines. We're saying, and kind of know where your area is and how close you are to Georgia, because there is a lot of mail issues, but we have the postcards worded. So even if they technically get there on January 5th, polls close at 7 p.m. So if they get the postcard, it might be like, oh, I forgot today was voting day, and they will have several hours to get out there. So we're going to push these postcards out, landing them even in a mailbox on January 5th, because we want to not leave any stone unturned and reach as many voters as we possibly can. So we're saying the 26th if you're outside of the Georgia area, and the 30th if you're in Georgia or you're near Georgia where you think it can get there in a couple of days. So let's do it. Anytime you want to request addresses, go to envoysforhumanity.org/postcarding. That gives you information on how to get addresses. It also has a link to our virtual events page. We have one more Zocalo Zoom left next week. It's going to be the same time as the event was tonight. So please join us. I am right now working on a follow-up email with all the links that we've talked about tonight, and the artist links, and candidate links, and ways to get involved in Georgia. And I will be sending that out. If you signed up through the Mobilize page, then I'm going to be sending that out to your inboxes shortly. So keep an eye out for that, because it'll give you a whole bunch of information. Because even though we're going to stop writing postcards, the election isn't until January 5th. So there still are ways to work on the election by phone banking. If you can travel safely, if you're within Georgia, you can canvas. They're also looking for ballot curing. They're ballot curing right now, which I did not know, which means there are people that have voted already and their ballots have been rejected, absentee ballot voted that have been rejected because the signature is off, or they forgot to put a date on it, or little minor things. And so there is a team working phone. So if you're out of state or within the state, in person ballot curing right now. And so those links will be provided in that email. And so if you can do that, obviously as important as get out the vote is making sure these ballots. And as of yesterday, there was 3,000 350 ballots, I think, somewhere around there that were rejected already. And think about how close this race is going to be. So we need to make sure that we are able to reach every one of those voters that have already cast their ballot and make sure we get their ballot fixed and get it right so it's counted as a vote. This is going to come down to just a handful of votes. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm going to unmute everybody. If you want to unmute yourself and kind of wave goodbye and say goodbye as you head out. And thank you so much. I talk about the numbers of postcards. It couldn't be possible without you guys. So thank you everybody that's writing postcards, that's dedicating your time, your money, your hand muscles to be able to write all those postcards. I'm blown away by the comments that we receive in the forums and just how many, the massive amount of numbers that people are writing postcards. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and enjoy your night. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Christmas.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Kari. Stay safe
Thanks,
and
you
happy.
guys.
And thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes, thank you for turning us on to Alex, Carter family.
Yeah, go Carter family.
Yes.
Yay, Carter.